Alright, guys, so we're just waiting for a countdown before the live starts, so YouTube can recommend it to the correct audience. But I just gonna let the timer go out, and then we will jump straight into it. I'm just going over my notes as well. Just waiting for everything at the moment. Excited for this first live. But we are definitely going to dive into a couple of things during this first episode of Collector's Corner. Checking if the microphone is working. We are almost ready to dive into this one. Just letting YouTube recommend it. We will have a time in about a minute and a half. So, yes. Okay, thank you guys for joining. This is Silverhelm Coins and Collectibles, the first live I will be doing. I'm just going to go a little bit over about Silverhelm, what this channel has become, what this channel is basically striving for, and then we're going to go over how I got started in my own collector's journey, some tips I wish that I would have known when I started, and we're just going to have a fun interactive session. So I got from Tyler, hi, yes, thank you for joining. There might be a short Q&A, depends how much time we have at the end of this. But let's dive straight into today's live. Okay, so firstly, Silverhelm started as an idea. It started as a way that I could share my journey as a collector. This actually started with coins, and then it later became into stamps. And then now, if you saw some of my recent videos, there is also like other collectibles, such as banking memorabilia, as well as a scale model car that was built when I was 2 years old. So that is that. It's just something um, that I wish to share with the community and then basically help people to also get on their own collecting journey, because I think it is a very worthwhile um, basic pastime that you can invest in, and I think that's important. All right, so that being said, I am a young collector. I'm by no means experienced. I'm still new in the game, but I feel that I'm going to share this journey. Okay, so now that we have that one out the way, Collector's Corner is what this series is going to be. This is episode 1, and this is Collector's Corner. It's just going to be like a connection hub where collectors can come and learn and share with each other, as well as grow in the collector journey. So I'm going to start off uh, with how my collecting journey started. Firstly, I inherited a stamp collection. This is a new album, but the stamps inside I inherited. So that was my first experience with stamps. And then I also inherited from my grandfather's side a coin collection. So this was, if you saw some of my other content, the old trust bank bag was where he used to store all his coins. So I still have that to today. It's a beautiful piece of banking memorabilia. And yeah, okay. So I inherited a stamp collection and I inherited a coin collection. Both have kind of like come and gone and evolved in the sense, or have basically gone away. But my first one had to obviously be the 1/3 of a scale Bugatti model car. This was built when I was 2 years old, and it just has been in the family for close to two and a half decades. So that was the first one. But then, because the inherited stamps and coins, that kind of became my focus point as a collector, to just go hard with what I enjoy. And what I enjoyed was the collecting aspect behind coins and stamps. So now I actively collect. I do consider myself an active collector. So that means that I am always looking for pieces, doing the research, but we'll get to that in another one. Just know that I love coins and I love stamps. The reason is because there is history behind every collectible. So whether it's stamps, coins, model cars, there is certain history behind it. And I feel this is wonderful to have this history that you can actually hold in your hand. That's just one aspect of what makes collecting absolutely worth it. Okay, so we got Tito. Please shout me out. Yes, hello. Thank you for joining. Um, okay, so now my main interest. kind of centers around stamps and coins, but as stated, as recently, it has become a little bit of other collectibles as well. So let's dive into the next segment, which is what I wish I had known before I started my collecting journey. Okay, so these are just going to be a couple of tips, user-friendly, beginner-friendly advice that I wish that I received before starting my collecting journey. That's what I thought today's episode will mostly be about, is for beginners to start the collecting journey. Firstly, is buying too quickly. So this often happens when you're a new beginner. You want to buy as much as you can, whether it be coins or stamps. And the mistake that is often made is you buy too quickly. So this is what I mean from if you see a nice deal, I would obviously recommend giving it some time to think about it, to do thorough research, as we also get to see, and you need to have that little bit of a gap between the actual, interest and then the buying. So my regret is buying too soon. In the beginning, everyone just wants to buy as much as you can. So I would recommend putting a timer in there to just slow it kind of down. Next one was overpaying. So this happens a lot with new collectors. They will get into something, and then the dealer or whoever you are buying from sees it as an opportunity to, kind of like inflate the price. And then because you're a beginner and this ties into the next one, and you haven't done your due diligent research, you will end up overpaying for a collectible. So not researching enough actually ties into all of these points that I've mentioned so far, and it would actually help every collector if they just had that dedication to do thorough research. Next up, tip I would give for new beginners was the condition versus rarity. So you can actually get a coin that is graded in, let's say, good, which is a bit lower grade than mint state, but because of its rarity, it has real value. But you can also get a coin that is in good condition, but there were millions and millions of them minted. So that's just the key difference I wanted to learn about um, condition versus rarity. So that's just something that beginners don't know. They think if a coin just looks great, then it's going to have value. That's not true. Rarity and condition plays a part in coin value. Proper storage. So that's also something I wish I knew from the beginning. I'm just going to show how I store my stamps, which is a basic album. If you can actually look at this, this was made in West Germany. Okay. And if you look at each page, it just looks really professional. So that is how I store my stamps, something really valuable. If I knew from the beginning I was going to get such a large one, I would have immediately bought a bigger album. But that was one of the things. So that's how you store your stamps. It's in a proper dedicated stamp album. I needed to do that from the beginning. Secondly, just get this page over here, is how you store your coins. So we will go into this video a bit about that, but I just want to show how I do it these days. It's known as a coin flip. So it is a 2x2 cardboard that has a little piece of non-PVC. Remember, it needs to be non-PVC plastic, and then it just closes your coin. So that is something I should have done from the beginning with my coin collection, because what happened was I was keeping them all like in a purse. And this is actually detrimental because they can scratch and they can kind of like nick into each other. So I wish I had known about coin flips earlier, and then the actual sheets that can be placed into a binder folder, a whole 20 per page. You buy a 10 pack, suddenly your collection can grow up to 200 coins. So proper storage is essential stuff for those starting the collecting journey, whether it be stamps, coins. One more thing I want to mention is also on this channel is banknotes. So as you can see, I actually have a banknote sleeve. This is just to protect the actual banknote uh, because with stamps and as well as banknotes, the oils on your fingers when you handle them can actually with time damage the stamp or the banknote. So that's just for the banknotes. If you can get these sleeves, they work really well. You can get different sizes, obviously. I think last time I checked on Amazon, you can get a 50 pack, you can get a 100 pack, and then you are sorted. So just to conclude, the proper storage, it keeps your collectibles safe, and as is the case with the coins, you actually have easy access to them because they are all on a page, and you can just basically take one out when you need to, and that's proper storage. So definitely get to that one. Next up, that I wish I knew when I began, was keeping proper records. So if I can show again with the coin, I actually have my infantry number, which is SH dash 0000 and then 2. So this is the second one or the fifth one in the coin collection. And this I then keep on a spreadsheet for easy access. So keeping records, it needs to be digital. That's just the most convenient way. But keeping records helped. I'm also in the process of basically cataloging my first day covers. So that is a stamp side collection where it is the envelope, the stamps, and the cancellation mark on the exact day they were launched. So I have a catalog as well for the first day covers. And these catalogs you just keep is for better, organizing. It keeps everything on one spreadsheet. This is important. Going forward, I might make a video about some of the stuff that you need to have in your records. What do you need to record about coins? I'll just mention a few things, such as the date and the denomination and the country, and then your infantry number that you keep. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Yes, if you have any other questions, we'll get to those a bit later in the video. But now we are looking at it was just some of the things I wish I knew before I became a full-time or a dedicated collector. Okay, so it was buying too quickly, definitely overpaying if you don't do your due diligent research, the difference between condition and rarity, and how they often, intertwine to produce value, proper storage of coins, stamps, banknotes, and then keeping records. So this is just a spreadsheet to keep track of your collection. So we are finished with that section of the live. Now I'm just going to compare coins to stamps to banknotes. Which is best for beginners? So out of all my collectibles, I would say the best ones for beginners, coins, okay? And if you want to go even a little bit more inexpensive, banknotes. So that is what I would recommend. And then because we do stamps, I'd say first day covers as well. Look at that beautiful one. Look at that beautiful commemorative. So that is what most beginners. So I would recommend everything for everyone. It's wonderful getting into these. So yes, which is most affordable? That depends. So stamps outright might be inexpensive, especially if they have been used. They don't fetch crazy numbers. Stamps. First day covers as well. They don't go for too wild unless it's specific ones, because remember, if there is rarity and there is demand for it, then it will be valuable. But I would say First, the most affordable would be stamps, first day covers, and banknotes. Okay, which has the most history? So I would say out of all the collectibles that I cover, it will almost certainly be coins that have the most history. That's just because if we look at this one again, it is an 1826 coin. So that coin is nearly 200 years old. So that has a lot of history. But then the same can be said about stamps. Is that history is also in them, and it is kind of like in all of them. But coins be the most. Okay, which do I personally enjoy collecting the most? This is a difficult one to answer because, quite frankly, I enjoy everything I do on still realm, from the coins to the stamps to the banknotes. I enjoy everything. I would have to say I did the most research on the coins, how to grade them and such. But the stamps, that's just as it is often referred to as the king of hobbies. So I would say stamps is definitely up there, and coins is definitely up there. Okay, now we are going to move into the next section, which is how to start collecting on a small budget. So you don't need thousands of dollars to become a collector. And what I mean by this statement is, obviously, if there is in the family, such as maybe if your parents or grandparents have a coin or a stamp collection, then you can actually benefit from it, because most of the time they'll just have it sitting in a cupboard or a closet, and then they might feel that they could actually hand it over to you, or like pass it down through the family, and that would be what's classified as you don't pay for it. Okay, you just inherit this collection. Okay, um, and then apart from that, to actually grow your collection with a small budget, is to go on online auction sites. So this is such as eBay, or if you're in South Africa, such as Bob Shop, and you can basically get an eye, if you do your due diligent research, about what is a good deal and what's going to be a bad deal. And once you have that, knowledge about how to quantify the deals, you might be able to grab something really valuable at a good price. So you would definitely need to get used to these online auction sites. I think they are great for collectors. I mean, most of my first day covers were acquired through those. Most of my coins, although I will mention that coin fairs and stamp fairs are really great places for beginners. You can kind of get to know the community, and you can just like have a good time as well. Acquire some good deals. Some of them might have really good deals, but you must just always be prepared to learn and to grow in the community, because you're a beginner. Okay. So then I would also say the next one would be circulated coins. If you are on a budget, let me just see where I am now. Oh, so circulated coins, meaning they were in circulation. They don't have a base metal, so there's no silver in this coin. That is a rather inexpensive way for you to get into the coin collecting journey. You could do inexpensive stamps. So if I show you again the first day cover I had of this one, it cost me less than $1 for this envelope. So that is, if the budget is a bit tight. Also would be world coins. So there'll be ones that are actually still legal tender. That's an inexpensive way to get into coins. Or then the other personal one I enjoy the most is banknotes. So keep in mind, this is a rather interesting banknote. We'll get into it soon. but banknotes usually aren't that way out expensive. But there are exceptions, and there is a reason why some of them can become really valuable. So now to conclude, I'm going to say how you can progress. So firstly, I stated about how I started the collector's journey, how I fell in love with coins and stamps, some of the mistakes that beginners make when they are, starting the collector's journey. Then we looked at how to start collecting on a small budget. And then this last section will be um, how to progress. So a couple of things. With the coins, you will going to have to start looking at high grade coins. This one, for example, is uncirculated. That means it was never in circulation and the details are really good. So condition in this case actually adds to the value of the coin. And that's how you progress. You can start with that and then eventually you can also get yourself graded coins, such as this one. Okay. So graded coins just means it's a third party grading service that actually like encapsulates it and then verifies the grade of the coin. So you can progress in coins based on grading. The other big one, which I think is just as important, is if you go look at history, coins used to contain silver. Certain denominations must be said, but most day-to-day coins used to contain silver. So this one was 92.5% sterling silver. So that's how you can progress in the coin collecting. It can somewhat start as a stacking. You can stack silver coins, whether they were world coins, and then if you want to progress in just precious metals, you can look at something such as modern bullion coins, silver coin, quarter ounce, generic round, 99.9% silver. So that's if you want to go a little bit deeper into coins or specific silver coins. I also want to state that if you continue with coins, the next one would be like error coins, is if there was like a misprint or an overprint, cracked die, error variety. That is something. So that's some of the ways that you can progress in coins. With stamps, you were looking at what's known as mint never hinged. So this means the stamp has never been used, it has never been hinged, and it is just in a good state. And that's how you can kind of get like the peak of what a stamp collector wants. In stamps, it's also worthwhile noting that complete sets, not fragmented sets, actually have more value. Vintage collectibles, to progress in it, I'm not going to explain what that term means. Vintage means it is 20 to 99 years old. If it is 100 plus, then it is considered an antique. But before that, 20 to 99 years, it is a vintage. So vintage collectibles, these are like the model cars, the clocks that I will still show on this channel. And then I would say the rare banknotes. You can get common banknotes that were in general circulation, and they might not be that valuable. They have historical depth to them, but they are not as valuable. But if you get rare banknotes, such as this rubles from 1908 Russia, then all of a sudden the value is a bit more. So if you go into banknotes, you can go into something that is a bit rarer, and you might actually find something that is really valuable. So this 10 rubles is sitting at around 1.5, no, $15. Okay. And then last but not least, I would just like to say, if you embark on this journey, as I have done and that I've come to enjoy, I would just say, go out there, start collecting coins, start collecting stamps. If you're into maybe model cars, get into that. The main message of this first episode was just that everything is available. You should just go out and start collecting. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my content, so consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.